Hello there, my name is Rich. This is the TESOL Rich channel, YouTube channel. And here's the title of this video. English pronunciation, my formula, sound plus stress. So, English pronunciation. It's not easy, is it? It's not easy for different reasons. And so the video I want to show you now is just to get some mechanisms, some ideas about how to approach the subject of English pronunciation. So I will disappear, I'll move away, the video will have animated text, and I will reappear at the end to say goodbye. So as the title says, there are two elements to this formula. The first is sound, which I'm sure you know the word. It's something that you listen to, that you hear. The second, stress, is not the stress that you usually think of, that is those nervous feelings, but stress in a linguistic sense, which is the emphasis English people put on a word or a part of the word, the syllable, when speaking, and we pronounce that part louder or with greater force. So let's immediately look at an example of this. This is a word I'm writing which you all know, Brazil. It's the name of a South American country. But how does an English person pronounce this word? Well, it has two parts, two syllables. The first syllable is bra. The second syllable is zil. Now, the stress is on the second syllable, and so an English person pronounces this word Brazil. Now you can see that I indicated with a little mark, a slash over the syllable here. It's circled in this slide you're watching now. Now this mark is called the accent, and in English, when you are teaching pronunciation, we use this to show the student where the stress is on the word. However, you won't see this accent mark in written English because we don't use it. We know where the stress is when we are speaking. In other languages, like French, you do see the mark, the accent, and it does indicate if the vowel sound is pronounced. And here's an example. In the French word café, the accent is over the E. So it indicates that the E vowel sound is pronounced in this word in French. Now, don't confuse this meaning of accent, which is a punctuation mark, with another meaning of accent in English. Still talking about pronunciation, the second meaning of accent is the particular sound or pronunciation of a person's speech that indicates which country or region they come from. And here's an example of this use of the word accent. When Rich speaks in Italian, he has a strong English accent, and that's very true. So now you've got the idea of this formula, and when I'm teaching English pronunciation, I usually start with this formula. Sound plus stress equals word pronunciation. Then, I do have to say, you must remember that in English there are many variations of the pronunciation in different English-speaking countries and within the various regions of the country. Now this does make pronunciation more difficult, it makes listening more difficult, and certainly it makes a general pronunciation rule more difficult. So it may make you feel better about your pronunciation problems to know that between English-speaking nations, like I hope you like my illustrations here of the American talking to the English or British person, and there will be, and there often is, a barrier due to the pronunciation differences between these two nations. Now, in this example, American English is different in the pronunciation in some words, quite a few words, than British English. And it could be the sound, it could be the stress on the word, it could be both. But it will create some problems in the communication between American and English people. So let's look quickly at how you know the sound or sounds of English words. Now, in addition to the 5 vowels of the alphabet, A, E, I, O, U, these are very important because they are the sounds that are stressed. English has many more vowel sounds, 19, including the diphthongs, which I'll explain later. And you find all of these wonderful sounds in a phonemic alphabet chart, like the one I'm showing here. And you find all of the vowels and the consonant sounds in these charts. You can find the chart online, or you can find them in a smartphone or tablet application. So I really like these phonemic charts because, as I will explain in the next slide, you can easily go and find a phonemic chart, and with this you can construct, analyze, and find out the pronunciation of any English word on your own. And here's a fantastic app, an application for a smartphone or a tablet. It's called Sounds, the pronunciation app by Macmillan. I use it a lot when I am teaching pronunciation, and I tell my students to download it, to use it, because it's a fun way of finding out the sounds. So in any English dictionary, this is an online dictionary which I'm showing you here from Macmillan, there will be the phonetic transcription written next to the word you're looking at. Now, if you can't listen to the pronunciation by an English speaker, you can reconstruct the pronunciation using the phonemic chart, knowing the sounds, and you can do it on your own. Of course, the alternative to this, to know the sound and the stress of an English word, is to listen to it being spoken by a native English speaker, or if you are having lessons, to listen to your English teacher pronounce the word correctly. However, with the fantastic online dictionaries today, you can find the recorded pronunciation of every word. This is Macmillan online, which will give you both the British English pronunciation and the American English pronunciation of every word that you want to know. So, just to conclude this formula of sound and stress, I want to go back to our original example of this name, Brazil, which we pronounce with the stress on the second syllable. Now, what happens if somebody moves the stress to the first syllable? The sound or the pronunciation becomes Brazil. So, will it be important to have the correct stress of this particular word, Brazil? If you pronounce it Brazil, somebody, an English speaker, may think you are talking about the city of Basel in Switzerland, which has a similar sound. It has 2 syllables, but as you can hear, the stress is on the first syllable, Basel. So this may be confusing. It depends on the context of the conversation. So, in the South American country of Brazil, the language is Portuguese. And the other example, in the city of Basel, Switzerland, the language is French and German. So I think, as in this example, but there are many examples similar, you do have to have the right stress on the word. So there you are, one simple formula for perfect pronunciation in English. Now, it's not that easy, I understand, but when you don't know a word, or you don't know the pronunciation of a word, if you're reading it, sound plus stress, a lot of stress in your mind, but this is the stress, the accent over the word. There's the formula. It doesn't make pronunciation perfect because it's never perfect between native speakers in English. So be prepared for communication problems even when you're using this formula. The sound of the word will vary according to the region or the country. I hope you found this interesting, so subscribe to the channel for updates on my new videos, and I hope to see you in another video. Goodbye for now.